The new session here at CSU. In this subject, the Information Society, we're going to be taking a slightly different perspective from the kind of angle that you've been looking at things from in some of your other subjects. So in this subject, we're going to try and step outside of that organizational, institutional context initially in the early phases of the subject. And we're going to look at information within society from a fairly broad perspective, and we're going to explore the idea that information is becoming of increased significance, heightened significance in society broadly. Okay, and we're going to explore the idea that advanced industrialized nations like Australia, for instance, are becoming what's been described as information societies, that they are driven by knowledge economies. So those are the kinds of terms and terminology that we'll explore specifically through the first half of the session. So what I'd like to do initially, what I found is useful in the past for students, for you guys, is to see if we can get some study groups up and running. We often find that we have critical mass in some of the cities and the regional centres, and if that's the case, then I've found that students find it helpful to get together for study sessions and work through the session together, get a bit of peer support and get a bit of help in working through their study on the subject. So what I think we'll do initially through this first week is see if we can get some study groups up and running, and if you're not able to meet in person, remember there's a lot you can do online. So again, I find that students, so last session we had some study groups in the big the regional centres in the capital cities, but we also had an online group up and running for students who weren't able to meet face to face. We often have students who are located in various places around the world. So there's still support available, peer support available, and so you guys are going to have to champion this if it's something that's going to work for you. But let's see what we can do through this first week. So what I'd like you to do is post to the forum, post a sort of introduction to the forum, maybe tell us where you are if you're keen on this idea of getting together with other people to study. And obviously my suggestion would be go where there's coffee or go where there's red wine, because that is obviously conducive to helping you work through your studies, and we'll see if we can get some groups up and running. Okay, so that's the key. Get your intro up on the forum with a location if you're keen to get together with other people and work on your studies together, share some ideas, get a bit of peer support. In terms of your individual study, start getting into Module 1. It deals with this core concept, the Information Society, and that's going to be fundamental. It's a big part of Assignment 1. Have a look at Assignment 1 because there's a specific reading that you're guided to explore in terms of framing some of that theoretical perspective, and you can find that reading in eReserve by using the subject code to search the library catalogue. So you just put that subject code into the search box, bang, it'll bring up the reading for you. Okay, so you've got intros, Module 1, specific Borden and Robinson reading that's identified as significant for Assignment 1. Off you go.